afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Real Estate Greco-Roman Style with Sam Giuliano.
And John Tukatlidis.
Both of us from Royal LePage Elite Realty, your local real estate professionals. Today, we're going to discuss the recent TREB report that came out for the month of May. And I'm going to pass it off to my resident expert when it comes to the TREB data. Johnny, take it away, buddy.
Thank you, Sammy. So the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board came out with a report indicating that sales for the month of May were above average, but were significantly lower than sales from the March peak. And we've seen now the volume of sales drop from March to April and from April to May. Alongside that, the report also indicated that the average selling price has increased and that there has been consistent increases and record average sale prices. Now, when you break down the report and you also look at anecdotal stories of what's really happening on the ground with agents, it does tell a little bit of a different story. Specifically looking at detached homes, the municipalities of W8 and W9 are seeing price increases on lower volume. But when you take that to Oakville, Oakville's prices actually dropped, not just for detached homes, but also for condos. Condo prices also dropped. Average condo prices also dropped in places like C1, which is the waterfront university area. So we saw an increase in volume in other types of homes like freehold townhomes and semi-detached homes in municipalities like Mississauga and Burlington. So what does this tell us? This tells us that depending on where you're living, depending on the home type, there's different things happening. And those numbers coming out of TREB don't necessarily tell the full story. And Sam, anecdotally, I think you and I are both seeing things on the ground as well that suggest there's changes underway.
Yeah, absolutely. I think anecdotally, again, just some of our experiences recently, things that used to go for multiple offers and tons of offers coming through are just not happening right now. So the demand has slowed down a bit. Having said that, the people that are interested in a great product are still paying the money. And that's kind of bared out by what you're talking about. Even though the volume's kind of a little lower right now, the numbers are maintaining their strength in the sense, the sales price numbers are maintaining their strength. To me, one of the big reasons is, our governments are always trying to tackle the demand side of it. Let's throw in a stress test so we can, reduce the number of buyers and all this other good stuff. But in reality, the biggest problem is a supply issue. We just do not have enough single family residential homes in this economy. And unfortunately, I don't think we're building enough. Again, my personal opinion, but when you look at the way the data is moving right now and the fact that we have less sales, maybe even less buyers out there, but the numbers are still maintaining where they are when it comes to sale price numbers, it's a pretty good indication to me that, we just don't have enough homes out there that will help alleviate some of that upward pressure on price. My biggest concern, sorry, John, just one last thing before I touch upon it. My biggest concern is this: with this lack of supply, and eventually we're going to be opening up our immigration doors again, which is great because it helps in so many aspects of the economy, and it does help our real estate economy as well. But what kind of upward pressure will that add to the real estate market, especially in the GTA, because we just do not have enough supply? Sorry, Johnny, for interrupting you.
No, I'm sorry, Sam. I just wanted to add to what you were saying. As you had already mentioned, the president of the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board did mention that the absence of normal population growth is one of the primary reasons for, the lower volume. That the buyer demand is expected to ramp up once we see immigration numbers rise. Of course, the COVID pandemic being the primary reason for not having those expected numbers.
Right, and one of the things that as you were talking, that became clear to me when you were talking about the data was the fact that a lot of the more affordable housing, be townhouses or semis or smaller detached, those are the ones where actually the prices are still increasing. And that's because you still have a glut, and I hate to say glut, but a glut of buyers in that area, because that's what everyone can afford, is those lower range, detached, or sorry, lower range single family homes that are not condos. Unfortunately, I think we're building too many condos and not enough single family residential homes to help families and help people get into the homes that they actually really want. Having said all that, with the price and with immigration supposed to be coming back, which will probably increase pressure on prices, I think this is a great opportunity for rentals. And making, maybe if you have the money as an investor, rentals might be something that would be a pretty good idea in the near future. Johnny, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, just yesterday, Benjamin Tal, he's a chief analyst at CIBC, did a presentation, and he agreed with this sentiment that because of the lack of affordability in the detached home or grounded home segment, you're going to see a lot more interest in the condo home type, and I think there's still going to be a very large segment of the population that can't afford those homes, and so renting is going to be one of the things that one of the only available opportunities for people who are looking for their own home. I had also just read that a developer is looking to invest $1 billion into detached homes to turn them into rentals and to have an enormous amount of detached home rentals, which we're seeing in a number of different neighborhoods. Those that are buying homes aren't necessarily first time buyers. They're existing homeowners that are buying additional homes in the same community, which ties into one of our earlier presentations where we talked about advertising your
Yeah.
home to your neighborhood, as that's a key market that you want to target. So one of the things that I try to tell my clients now is to take a close look at the condo market, particularly the downtown condo market, because it had been hit pretty hard over the course of the last year, and there may still be some investment value there in the long term.
And just to add on that C1, that downtown Toronto uh, condo market, I think it's a great opportunity as well, just because as COVID hopefully and finally leaves us for good, the schools start picking up again, businesses start picking up again. So anything near a school, I think, is going to be a great investment, as it was prior to COVID. I think it's going to pick up again post COVID when life gets back to normal. Johnny, any final thoughts before we sign off here?
Just in conclusion, I think we're going to still see a robust real estate market moving forward. We're going to see the economy opening up, and a continuation of real estate activity. It's just going to be directed into different areas and different types of real estate activity as the population sort of adapts to the new reality.
Johnny, thank you for your input there. And thank you everyone for joining us once again on Real Estate Greco-Roman Style with Sam Giuliano. And
John Tokatlidis.
again, from Royal LePage Realty and your real estate professionals. Give us a call anytime. Have a good one. Bye-bye.